His funda of life is that if you provide real emotions, real life, and real purpose in education, then you prepare children for tomorrow. So first question, science, technology, education and maths. How do you demystify that? How do you simplify that? These are tough subjects, right? And you must teach the curriculum.
Yeah, yes,
right?
Yes,
I mean, you can't really be debating from curriculum.
Yeah,
this is important subject.
You still have to do musical good. Well, it's hard, and math and engineering is there's so many concepts and physics and science involved. And the question is how to make that deadly simple for the kids. So number one is the teacher. The teacher has to have deep understanding in the subject. Like you can just memorize stuff and then just put those into children. That's not the way. That's not the way the children will understand it. And Einstein have a saying like this: if you understand something well enough, you can explain that simply. Yeah.
Perfect.
So first is a teacher. He or she has to understand his subject very well and make connection to real life. So anywhere the student goes, they see science, technology, engineering, math around it.
Correct.
So for example, they see the table, but they have to think as an engineer, like how many legs is that, and what is the purpose of designing these triangles and stuff like that. Or as a scientist, like what is this material made of, and and what does it do?
All right, now you know what, Tien, I am myself an engineering student. I'm an engineering dropout, engineering dropout actually. So in the first year we had these mathematic concepts like Laplace theory, four-year series, and Fibonacci numbers. Now when I was doing it, I could never understand why am I doing it. It was too complex for me to understand one, and then without application of it or without understanding the purpose of it, I was just not convinced that I should be doing this. That is primary reason I dropped out of engineering, although in the last year. Now you tell me, in the curriculum it must be taught, right? In the curriculum, the student is never told that what would be the application of the series which you are studying. How does STEM help in that?
Well, first like you said, you get bored because the math is too hard and you don't know what to do with it.
Correct.
What is the application?
Correct.
So we actually reverse everything a little bit. We don't start with the knowledge, and we start with the problem. So the student really they know that there's a need in them, there's the purpose. So we give them the purpose first, without teaching them anything, and then we introduce the knowledge. To make this, you need to learn a little bit about this, and then the way the student learn is like this. It's called inquiry-based learning. We don't teach them the knowledge, the definition. We design in a very careful way a series of experiments. So through that, the student will learn themselves.
But these concepts work brilliantly in the lower classes, right? Because there are so many analogies you can draw from the real life. But in higher classes, how do you extend this? How do you simplify the higher classes?
Sure, that is the challenge. So that's how we.
And that is why I dropped out. It's
Yeah.
not my mistake. Yeah, it was too complex.
That's why I start with the the primary school student first, and then
Correct.
I move up, like eventually.
STEM education is an interdisciplinary approach in the learning process in which academic concepts are principally integrated with the real world lessons where students apply the knowledge in science. Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's too complicated, man.
Yeah.
You're supposed to demystify things. Why such a statement? What does it mean actually?
What does it mean is instead of teaching one subject, one definition, one concept,
Correct.
like I said, you just introduce the problem, the project to the student.
Correct.
And then sometimes we have to guide them what they should learn, but sometimes they can learn everything by themselves.
Correct.
Yeah. So everything they learn is interdisciplinary. Like because they don't learn physics as just physics. Okay, for example, if they happen to, I don't know, they have to sell that particular product. It's turned into economics, right? And they can start with very early age to learn that. And is the word interdisciplinary is just like students have to learn many things from different fields, different subjects at the same time, and it's not really that complicated.
This is a good point, valid point. Now the point is that is curriculum more important or the delivery?
Oh, that's a very good question. I think we often say that war is won by soldiers, right?
Correct.
So I consider the curriculum as weapon and the teacher as soldier. They're both important, but we need both to win. So,
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely. Excellent answer. Excellent answer.
Yeah.
You are a huge YouTube darling. I mean, huge YouTube star here in Vietnam. Why did you
Thank
not
you.
think of monetizing that? Why did you not think?
Monetizing.
Yeah.
Well, number one, I cannot make whole lot of money out of YouTube because the science and engineering and all of that stuff is not as popular as musical talents. Like they have millions of views, and I have like
4 million.
100,000.
4 million.
Totally. Yeah, totally. Yes, I do. But like they have billions of views. Like I
Yeah.
cannot compare to that. So in terms of monetizing, I don't make much money out of it.
You are founder of DoCoMo.
Yeah, it's tay máy tò mò. Yeah, it's tinkling and curiosity. Yeah.
So what is that? Tell us about that.
Well, initially, like I was a economics student. I'm not a teacher. I don't study science, but I love science. And then midway through my college, I realized that I want to do something meaningful, and I also kind of want to be famous. YouTube is huge in that years, like in 2014. Yeah. So lots of YouTubers like they become big, and then I want to do something. So like I'm not good at other stuff. I'm only good at science, and I have a little bit of media skill, shooting, editing, and then all of those stuff. And I learned that in college, and I and my best friend we started a YouTube channel, and then eventually what I value the most is the audience, that their feedback and their comment is they actually learn something and they find this very helpful for them and for their study at school, because my lecturer there it's very, it's visualized. It's very fun, and then they like it better than their teacher.
Now tell me, the STEM system of education, how is it different than Waldorf? Waldorf, Rudolf Steiner's Waldorf looks very similar.
I think you know, like Isaac Newton, he has a saying like, if I am able to see far because I stand in the shoulder of giants. So in terms of theory, this STEM education is based on many famous one before it. And the thing is, we try to learn from them, of course, like from Montessori or Rudolph or anyone before us who has a similar ideas. However, we try to implement the new technology, new program, and everything else new. Like the world nowadays is changing so fast, you know. And then one real thing is we try to keep the student updated to all of that.
Correct.
So if you see similarity, of course, because we do learn from them.
Correct. Now, you know, the great inventions of all time. One, wheel. Second is paper and printing.
Yes.
And third is World Wide Web.
Yes.
These three inventions have happened because earlier education system. They've happened because of the education system which was prevalent then, right?
Yes.
So how can we question that education system when the best inventions have come because of those education systems?
Well, yeah, sure. That is very cool, interesting question. But you know, like the thing is, those inventions, I think they come from the best mind of each generations. So nowadays we want to extend that a little bit. We want every child like have that ability to invent, create, and like, build new things and solve new problems that has never been before, that had never been solved before. So it is better when you have a closer look at the old education system, or particularly some inventors. The way that they learn, the way that they build things, create, invent things is that they do it very early, and then they start with a problem, and then they have to apply knowledge into that. What we really trying to do is, have you seen the movie Three Idiots? In the end, Rancho, right? Rancho, he built a school.
Yeah, correct.
Where students do all crazy things, science and engineering all around school. That is my vision. That is what I want to do, and that
Correct.
is, we call that a STEM school. Oh, three things.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very generous.
Yeah.
I often get to tell. I often get to tell them one thing only. Like people in the TEDx would be like, you know, you have to keep it short, you know, to the point, and one thing. Now you give me three things. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Kids, I think you love superhero, right? Like Iron Man, Thor, and all those stuff. And I think, in my opinion, if you want to be the closest thing to a superhero, you can be an engineer like Iron Man did. So all that technology in Iron Man suit is based on real life technology, like the flying thing and then the chest thing that generate energy for him is actually real life tech. So in my opinion, if you really want to be a superhero, you can be like a scientist like Iron Man. anything around us is, you can see it, if you can see it as an engineer, as a scientist, if you see building, see the structure, and then all those things. When you learn about the design and engineering all around you, you actually feel more connected to the world.
Correct.
Well, I think is to find the purpose in life, is celebrating life and live your full heart to that, is celebrating life. I enjoy working, teaching and doing education so much that I can't imagine I do other things. I think that is what I was born to do. Anything that happened to me up to this point is adding a little bit to that. Like, I was not major in education, but I value every single moment of mine in studying economics at the college, because that built me, that add up to me many things and a new point of view to education. Like, as an economic student, I see the world, like how it's operated in very practical way, not like a teacher. Traditional teacher.
Correct.
Yeah.
Lovely. So much. Thank you so much for your time, Tien.
Well,
it was lovely speaking to you.
Yes.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
I have to say this, like going over 60 countries, like celebrating life, I think you are making a huge impact.
So good.